It's been very interesting to just kind of see the momentum and where we're at right now. And as you know, this is the 25th COP. But now there's an issue of accountability. There's an issue of actually looking at acting. What can we do? And why should we not just be, complacent or not talk about the science? Yes, the science is important, which has been done, but now is the time to act. Let's just be the change we want to see. For me, in the work that I do as the head of the terrestrial ecosystems team, the work that we do either around forests or mountains, rangelands, pasture lands is really around nature-based solutions. And I'm so glad to see this at the forefront of conversation. I was just speaking a few minutes ago in the UK Pavilion talking about the UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration. And it's really great that there's now momentum to talk about how do we conserve nature, what we have, intact, and also how do we restore spaces that are degraded. So it's really good to see this conversation now has gone totally mainstream after the United Nations Secretary General Summit, which happened in September, and it's just fantastic. And we've seen a momentum now and a conversation happening in all sectors, and also businesses are talking about nature-based solutions, which is great. Oh, this is so exciting. It's so exciting, the UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration. I'm really hoping that by the end of next week, we will be talking a lot more about real action on the ground. This is a climate action summit or climate action COP. And so the decade kicks off in 2021, but what we're beginning to see now is the member states here are talking a lot around, okay, the decade is about to start. What is it that we can do, and how can we be instrumental and pivotal in making sure that we make commitments to restoring these spaces that are degraded, be it forests, be it wetlands, peatlands in particular, that actually contribute 5% of carbon to carbon emissions. And so I'm hoping by the end of next week that we really see a better momentum on how restoration plays a key role in the climate agenda, so that by the time we actually launch the decade next year, thanks to GLF and other partners, we really kick off on a really high note and actionable note. And also what's fantastic is that I'm beginning to see a lot of young people here, the young people calling out the older generation to say, look, stop, ruining our planet. You're going to be leaving us a planet that's degraded. And I'm so hoping to see that the youth voice and the voices of the indigenous and local people are really taken into account by the end of next week. Yeah, so it's a quite exciting moment in our history, I think.